Hello, hello, hello. I saw Joe put on a camera, so I was like, I'm putting my camera on too. Welcome to everyone. Good morning, good morning. Please do feel free to put your cameras on. Thanks, Joe. No pressure there. Welcome to see everyone here. See some familiar names. Welcome, Kevi. Hi, Mabel, Gertrude, Disray. Fabulous. Welcome to everyone. Please do go ahead in the chat box. Go and let me know, where are you dialing in from? What industry are you in as well? So I'm going to ask you to get those fingers on the keyboard. It is an interactive masterclass. This is the way I like to do masterclasses, coaching and training, interactive as well. This is the last masterclass for May. So if you want to invite a colleague or a friend, please feel free to go ahead and share the Zoom link. But lovely to have you all. I think it is now, let me see quickly, 9:30 on the dot. So all about punctuality and diving straight in. If you're comfortable, go ahead, put your camera on. It's lovely connecting with faces. I feed off your energy as you will feed off mine as well. So please go ahead. Let's see. Kevin Metcalf in the security industry. Yes, and he has got a fabulous reputation in the Cape Town area. So reach out to him if you're looking. Joe, Cape Town, I'm a sales rep for a luxury homeopathic aromatherapy massage oils. Stunning. Love that. Awesome. Hi, Nikki. My signal's very bad, so my video won't work. I'm Monique. I'm in the real estate industry, Atlantic Seaboard. Hi, Monique. Wonderful to have you. Mark, welcome. And Mark's actually joining us tomorrow. Yes, fabulous. So welcome to everyone. Still quite a few more people coming in. Lovely to have you all. And I'm excited. So if you're in the entrepreneurial space, if you do sales for yourself or a company, or if you're a real estate professional, this is for you. So welcome to everyone here. Desiree from Property Cosa Benoni. Hello, hello. So wonderful to have you all. Again, just go ahead, drop your what you do in the chat box as well. I am going to let you know this masterclass is an hour long. And if you stay till the very end, I'm going to share a gift with you, which is a one-pager from today's session. So you can sit back, you can relax, you can make some notes. You're welcome to make some notes as well, but I will share this gift with you. However, I do need to confirm your email address. So if you can, in the chat box, you can send it to me privately or in the email box. Go ahead and drop your email address just so that I can make sure after today's session, I can tag you correctly to send you a thank you email with your gift today. So lovely to have you all. Maya, virtual assistant, fabulous. So welcome, welcome, welcome to everyone. As I said, this is an interactive workshop. I do ask you to, share information in the keyboard. So if you've got your cell phone with you right now, just close it for an hour. Give yourself a gift of an hour. Email browsers open with emails coming through, shut it down. Because even if you give me 100%, you're only going to hear 40% of what I say. Quite scary, right? Because we have all these things going on in our head. So keep yourself focused right here, right now, and let's give each other, I'm going to give you my 100%. I'm going to ask you to do exactly the same for me. So welcome to everyone. And there we go. My sides are excited. They're jumping ahead of me. So how many of you need to do that dreaded cold call? And you look at your phone, Joe says me. You look at your phone and your heart starts going boom, 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 boom. Hands start to tremor, sometimes breaking into a sweat. And I think, oh my gosh, I need to pick up that phone. And I just really, really hope the person on the other side is going to be kind and nice and want to listen to me and not slam the phone down and shatter my confidence. How many of you feel the same? Well, I've learned, whether it's the dreaded phone call or standing up in front of a room at a networking function, or sometimes walking into a braai and you thought there was just going to be a couple of people and it turns out to be a party. How many of us get that same feeling? Well, this is exactly what I do. I put my feet solid on the ground. I put my hands on my hips, shoulders back, chest out, look out into the future and visualize the outcome. That maybe, just maybe, this person wants to talk to me, wants to listen to me, and may potential want to do business with me. And I step into that Wonder Woman or Wonder Man pose, just the way I teach others to do it. And then I pick up that phone and give it 100%. Now, my slides are going very crazy today. Let's just think about, where we are at of doing this. Because sometimes I know, even when I pick up that phone or go to that local braai or networking function, sometimes feel like I have plums in my mouth and nothing comes out impressively. How many of you can relate? Well, my name is Nikki Abraham. I'm now a public speaker, strategist, a TEDx Cape Town speaker coach, and a leadership extraordinaire. And I share tools with you on how to slow down, speak clearly, concisely, with confidence. But what I'm sharing with you and the way I felt is exactly how I used to feel. You see, I grew up in the hospitality industry, started at the age of 15. I then spent 29 years in hospitality, both nationally and internationally. 10 years in the Caribbean, working on boats, on charter yachts, before running 2 magnificent restaurants. When I moved back to South Africa in 2004 with my 11-month-old Caribbean souvenir on my hip, I didn't want to bring back a t-shirt, so I brought back the most beautiful boy that I made myself, and came back and started working with the Woolworths coffee shops. I spent 14 years working with the Woolies cafes, starting as a coffee shop manager, growing into regional manager, then training manager, before being the national customer service head. I oversaw a team of 8 regional managers. We had over 300 managers and 2,500 staff. Our coffee shops used to pump, always running a queue. I never had to do cold calling, networking, or be afraid of talking to people. This is where my passion, standing up in front of people, training, was born. But I knew I couldn't do this for another 29 years. And I knew I needed to make a change. Well, this quote popped up, the 3 C's of life: choices, chances, changes. You must make a choice to take a chance, or your life will never change. Now, I'm somebody that loves to say yes and then learn how. And after 29 years in hospitality, getting to the age of my mid-40s, I was like, I need to do something different. What is it? What am I going to do? What choice am I going to make? What chance am I going to take? And what change am I going to do? And that's where I was very lucky to join the real estate sector. I started at Keller Williams as a team leader, doing training and recruitment. But what I didn't realize, recruitment in the hospitality sector and so many others as well, is actually picking up that phone and doing that cold call, that heartbeat, those hands shaking, and how many people I had to phone to build a connection with. And this is when I started learning the art of cold calling and the art of not just chasing, but coming from contribution. Now, somebody shared this butterfly analogy with me. Think about when we're desperate to get business, desperate to make another buck, desperate to work with someone. We chase them, and people smell the desperation. And like the butterfly in your garden, if you chase it, it will just fly away. But if you sit back, come from contribution, know that every phone call you make, you're giving them an opportunity to get to know, like, and trust you. You're coming from value with what you can share. That way, you're building relationship. And if you're sitting quietly in the garden, knowing that you're coming from contribution, the butterfly will eventually come and land on you. And this is exactly what I started doing with my cold calling, with my networking, and with reaching out to people. Don't come from a place of desperation. Come from a place of value. How many of you have heard this? Your network is your net worth. And Your net worth will be an outcome of how many people you have in your network. Now, leaving the hospitality sector, I had about a couple of thousand people on my phone, mostly the people I work with, some clients that I had to handle, and my bosses. But I had a very small network of who I could work with in the real estate sector. And I started attending networking functions and started making those cold calls and building relationships. And proudly, when I joined the sector in 2019, majority of them are still my friends today. And our network has grown. So now when I think about that phone call, I still get into my Wonder Woman power pose. And right now, I'm standing in it. Feet solid on the ground, chest up, shoulders back, hands on my hips, take a deep breath. And that's what I do every single time I'm going to interact with someone. So this is for you if you would like to learn how to grow your network and also your net worth. This is for you if you want to become confident when speaking to a client, be it one-to-one or like this, one-to-many. This is for you if you want to improve how you speak on camera, maybe for reels or some marketing. This is for you if you want to improve your negotiation skills like a ninja. And this is for you if you just want to learn how to speak more impactfully with confidence to win those clients and close the deal. So let me know in the chat box, what resonates the most for you? A, growing your network. B, speaking confidently, one-to-one, one-to-many. C, speaking on camera with reels. D, negotiation skills. Or E, just learning how to speak more confidently. Let me know in the chat box. A, B, C, D, or E, or all of them. Let me know which one resonated the most for you. All right, lots of E's, more confident, all of them. Okay, lots of messages coming through, fantastic, all of them. Exactly that. And some of us just want to focus on one or two. But I can share with you, learning these tools has helped me not only grow my net worth, scale my business with net worth. So this is for you if you feel like sometimes you've got plums in your mouth. My goal is to give you a tool today to remove those plums. So I want to say to you, like, it's not your fault. I mean, so many of us have the fear of speaking in public. And often it started back at school, where we had to go stand in front of the classroom and do the oral. And maybe, just maybe, there was somebody in the back of the classroom snickering at you and putting the fear of speaking in public there. It's not your fault that no one's taught you the simplified tools of speaking confidently, be it one-to-one or one-to-many. It's also not your fault that you didn't learn the tools of how to grow your network. I mean, I only learned this in 2019. I never needed it before then. It's also not your fault that you have the fear speaking in public. Now, this is not all about public speaking. It's about speaking in public, be it one-to-one or one-to-many. But I want to share a magical tool with you that's going to help you end that fear in the next 60 minutes. I'm going to wave my magic wand and go, wish, and share that simplified tool, because that's the way I like to work, with simplified tools. So wherever you are in any situation, just brings you back to a 4-step, 5-step, or 6-step tool to help you. And today, it's as simple as the 4-step tool. So, I mean, like I said, I get this. As I shared with you, spending 29 years in hospitality, joining the real estate sector in 2019, 16 months into my career, 2 days before the president put the country in lockdown, our entire team in the Western Cape got retrenched. And that's where I decided to start my own training company, utilizing all my tools that I've learned in hospitality, my 14 years training. I actually wrote 5 of our training manuals for Woolworths, the hospitality sector, plus getting into KW, learning so much about real estate and started my own business, the Winning Attitude Skills Training. And this is where I recognized the power of now focusing on networking. Cold calling was even more prevalent in my business. And I am so grateful for the tools I've learned. I then decided that I wanted to learn better tools on speaking. So I was comfortable with training, but not necessarily speaking to big groups of people. And I had to launch my business online. That's how it was with COVID. I signed up for multiple courses from marketing to sales and spent nearly 40,000 Rand in my first 2 years each on learning how to launch my business online. I then was asked if I was a keynote speaker, and I Googled keynote speaking. I thought, I can train. Yeah, I can do that. I said yes. And I got 2 bookings, and I thought, crap, I better learn how. I then signed up in 2021 for 2 public speaking courses, one locally, one internationally. Very blessed. I became a co-coach for 2 years before breaking away and launching my own speaking courses. And now I'm very comfortable, confident, and happy speaking one-to-one or one-to-many. I have been blessed to speak to crowds of up to 5,000 people. And let me ask you, do I get nervous? Every single time. But what I've learned is that nervousness and excitement is exactly the same feeling. Nerves is just channeling it in a negative. Excitement is channeling it in a positive. So every time somebody says, are you nervous? I go, I'm excited. And I own that space, even though you're like, boop, 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 right? Own the excitement and celebrate that. So be it that you just want to learn a simplified tool to speak one-to-one or one-to-many, I'm so glad you're here. Now, I'm sure quite a few of you, and I know some of you, are very confident in speaking. You have no problem talking to a crowd. You're going, actually, this is not for me. But how many of you sometimes feel like you're in a washing machine, on a spin cycle, spitting words out left, right, and center? And sometimes you talk yourself out of a deal. Well, then this is for you. Now, that used to be me. Confident, happy to chat, but often spoke too much, waffled on, and lost the deal. So this is for you to speak clearly, concisely, with impact. Choose your words. Choose your confidence. Choose your clarity. So the 3 C's of life. Thank you for making the choice for being here. Thank you for taking a chance and listening to me. And I hope you learn one tool today that's going to make a change in your life. So be it speaking one-to-one or one-to-many, I'm so grateful you're here. I'm doing a public speaking course with a lady at the moment, and she looked at this photo and she said, that alone gives me anxiety. And I was like, oh my gosh, the more people, the better. So the confidence that you get learning simplified tools is fabulous. I've been on stages, like I've said, speaking to thousands of people, as well as becoming a TEDx speaker coach. And I've taken all these tools over the last 5 years, and I developed my own personal Speak with Impact for public speaking course. And to date, I have 44 graduates who can all now do a 7-minute motivational talk without notes. But what I realized last year is not everybody wants to do a keynote presentation or a TED talk or stand on stage. That how many people are speaking to are like, Nikki, I just want to be able to be confident speaking one-to-one with a client to close the deal. And that's when I decided to launch my course, Speak with Impact with Sales. So I want to welcome you, Speak with Impact for entrepreneurs, sales, real estate professionals. And again, I'm going to share this gift with you as long as you've dropped your email address in the chat box. Please go ahead. At the end of today, I'll tag you and send you this gift of this simplified tool to help you. But there's an elephant in this room. I mean, I cannot share my last 5 years training experiences speaking and all my knowledge and expertise, 29 years in leadership and everything I share with you in 60 minutes. So with your permission, when I've shared this valuable tool, I am going to ask you for permission to share a little bit more about my Speak with Impact for Sales course with you. So I just like to be transparent right there. And for those of you that don't know me, never seen me before, never worked with me, came through on a Facebook ad, Go ahead, just type into Google, Nikki Abraham, all the winning attitude skills training. Go and see what other people have said with working with me. With my new business, I currently have 115 5-star reviews. I lie, 113, 2 of them are 4-star. Okay, plus some 25 Facebook reviews. Go and see what other people have said. So, very excited. And I want to dive straight in. Now, get those fingers on the keyboard. I want to ask you, how long does it take to create a first impression? Just let me know in the chat box. How long does it take to create a first impression? One minute, not sure. Where's everyone else? A few seconds. Okay, seconds for me. All right, thank you. 5 seconds. Perfect. 7 seconds. 7 seconds to create a first impression. That means often your energy introduces you even before you start to speak. Quite scary, right? And that's the importance of showing up every single time you're going to meet a client dressed the way you want to be represented, the way you want to be addressed. I mean, let's be honest, I'm not going to lie. Yesterday, I snuck out of the house, went to Woolies. I had on a big, oversized hoodie on. My hair was pulled back, no makeup. And I thought, I really hope I don't run into someone. And obviously, I did. If it's not a client, a friend, or how many of us run into our ex at that time? It's about showing up every single day, 100%. It's about the way we talk, the way we land a message, the way we speak with confidence, clearly and concisely. It's about the way you carry yourself, knowing what you have, because when you know and you have knowledge, you carry yourself with reverent power, which is your energy before you speak. And the way you smile, when in doubt, just smile, be it online, be it on the phone. That is the best. I remember not so long ago phoning an owner of a real estate company. And when I phoned her, she just said, not interested, but I have to tell you, you have a beautiful voice. And I was like, well, thank you. In fact, I do speaking training. And then we had a conversation around speaking. And it was simply by phoning her with a smile on the phone. So do you see the importance of first impressions? That you have the opportunity to win a client. It happens in less than 7 seconds. So I want to share with you what helped me remove those plums. And as much as I seem confident, I was quite fearful of going to networking functions. When I started my business and I thought, now I'm comfortable with phoning, post-COVID, now we have to go out there to networking functions. And I started reading as many books as I could to help me. And one of the books was called The Art of Networking. And I decided to take some of those tools and put it into practice. I signed up to as many different networking groups as I could, just to give me the confidence to stand up in front of people and do my 60-second pitch. But a few years ago, I actually was invited to an APSA event. I was incredibly excited to be invited. And when I got there quite early, I realized it's like, oh, I now need to talk to strangers. And slowly the room started filling up with over 200 incredible entrepreneurs. You could just see these amazing dynamic women. I stood against the wall as if I was a statue. And I secretly just prayed that the wall would suck me out and spit me to the car so I could leave. And I was like, no, you're not going to do this. You got up, you got dressed, you showed up. So I actually did sneak out. I went to the bathroom. I closed the cubicle door and I stepped into that Wonder Woman pose. And I was like, you're going to do it. And you're going to go out there and you're just going to make one connection. Go, Nikki, you can do it. And that's exactly what I did. But what was more profound at this event is there was a speaker up on stage who shared more about networking. And she shared this simplified tool. I am, I do, I can, I need. Now, I remember taking out my book, writing those 4 things down. I don't remember hearing anything else that day because of fear. But this, for me, was quite profound. And I started researching it and studying it and making lots of notes about it and going, how can I put it into action for me? And once I became comfortable with it, I wrote a training session to say, how can I help others? Ironically, 2 months ago, I joined a networking group called Business Breakfast Club. Men and women are invited all around the Western Cape. And when I got there, the lady who runs the Business Breakfast Club, I said to her, you look so familiar. And she goes, I met you at that APSA event. And I was like, you were the lady on stage. You shared that simplified tool. You've changed my life. So thank you. And this is the simplified tool I'm going to share with you today. So as simple as this, anytime you need to do that phone call, networking event, or given the opportunity to introduce yourself, it starts with, I am. Who are you? Introduce yourself. I do. What is your profession? I've asked you to do that today. Go in the chat box, introduce yourself. What do you do? What is it that you can do? How can you help someone? What advice can you offer? What valued information can you share? And then the goal is to stay in contact with someone for any future requirements. Now, this is just the one-step process. I'm going to go a lot deeper here as well. But the goal of going to a networking function is the outcome of getting someone's name or email address so you can add them to your database and stay connected. The goal of going to a braai, meeting people, always think of the outcome. Is there someone new that I can add to my network? And if I can't work with them, can they work with me, or who can I refer them to? So always the goal is the outcome at mind, using these simplified tools. And yet, over the last few years, I've attended thousands of different networking events, different organizations. And how many people, when they stand up and introduce themselves, pick up their phone and read it off the phone, or they stand behind a piece of paper? And it's not because they don't know who they are or what they do. It's because they have a fear of speaking in public. And that's what I like to help people get past and over. Because when we have the opportunity to speak to people and tell them what we do, we are confiding in them. Let me know in the chat box, what does confide mean? What does confide mean? Waiting for the chat box to light up. What does confide mean? To share personal information. Okay, sharing something personal. All right, saying something personal. All right, thank you. It is also allowing people to get to know, like, and trust you. So when you confide in someone, you're slowly building the know, like, and trust factor. And the word confide comes from the word confidence. In order for you to confide in someone, you need to have that trust. And in order for you to have trust, you need to trust yourself, which is your confidence with yourself. And the confidence with yourself is your reverent power. Knowing who you are, knowing you're an expert in what you do, and carrying yourself with that expertise. You know, sometimes you're in a restaurant and you're sitting there, you're like, where's the manager? You go, oh, that's the manager. Just because of the way that person carries themselves around the restaurant. That person has reverent power. And in order for you to share your reverent power, you need to have the self-confidence in yourself. You're confiding with what you're sharing, meaning you are trusting yourself. So before somebody else is going to trust you, you need to trust your words. And this is the importance of knowing who you are, that you can share it without that piece of paper, without reading it off your phone, because you know what you're saying is with expert power. So simple as I am, I do, I can, I need. But before I carry on, I want to introduce you to Sandra. So when I launched my Speak with Impact for Sales last year, and I started off with the first group, everyone did their introduction. And just after 3 weeks, I sent them a message. I said, just send me a little voice note and let me know how's this course working out for you. I'd love feedback. And I just want to share, this was no intent behind it. I just want to share the difference Sandra had already made in 3 weeks. So I'm going to hit the play button. I can see Kevin and Joe. So if you can just give me a thumbs up that you can hear.
I've been in this industry for 15 years, East London, Knysna, Cape Town. I love challenges and I love to improve in my craft. My name is Sandra Robb. I'm with Pam Golding Properties, and I've recently joined Speaking with Impact with Nikki Abraham, and I'd like to give her a big shout out for the course that she's running.
Isn't that incredible? In just 3 weeks. Now, I am friends with her. We've become friends since the course. I follow her on social media. In fact, she was one of the agents I connected with in 2019. Who said, yes, I can add her to my database and stay in contact. No, she didn't come work with me, but we started getting to know each other. And now she's worked with me. But her communication has helped her with the confidence that every single day on social media, she's doing posts. So effective communication can increase your net worth by 50%. The difference to speak clearly and concisely is profound. In fact, it improves your day-to-day conversations. It helps you as an entrepreneur. And if you're in sales, be it for a company, for yourself, and you're working on commission, that's going to help you. It's going to help you in your day-to-day relationships with your partner, with your friends, with your clients. It's going to give you the confidence. Now, I'm just going to say, how many times today have I messed up on a word? How many times today have I got tongue-tied? Now, don't go and count. But it happens. But I've still got confidence in what I'm saying. I've still got confidence in the message. Am I perfect? I never want to be. But I'm confident with what I'm sharing. It's helped me in business. It will improve your business. It will improve your sales. It will improve your day-to-day negotiations. In fact, learning how to speak, if you're in a leadership role or want to step in a leadership role, it will improve there, because the power of communication, what takes you the difference between a manager and a leader, is all about communication. In fact, learning to speak clearly and concisely will improve your life. So I'm going to introduce you to Peter. I actually had a one-to-one coaching session with Peter this morning, and wow, what a difference.
Good morning. I'm Peter. I'm from Umhlanga Rocks in KZN. The reason I wanted to do this course is I've had a bit of life history in that I have gone. Hi, I'm Peter Moroney. I'm a property practitioner with Meridian Realty in Umhlanga Rocks. I wanted to share with you just recently, I've done a public speaking course with Nikki Abraham. I've learned some incredible skills that have helped me on a professional level. And to be able to communicate clearly and concisely and confidently and with impact makes such a difference in my profession. You know, whether I'm
Again, so speaking one-to-one, one-to-many, Peter is now doing reels. So 10 reels per week. And not only business related, personal related, getting people to know, like, and trust him. So he's doing his scripts, he's doing his videos, and his business is booming. He this morning told me he just signed a deal with a developer, and he got 20 houses ranging between 6.5 and 7 million to sell in his estate. And that's with him learning the art of speaking clearly and concisely. So be it that you just want to get more confidence speaking one-to-one or one-to-many, and even though you may not want to be on a big stage, one video, one reel can go viral. And that alone is selling you. So let's go deeper into the I am, I do, I can, I need. So talking about that and saying where we are, I am. Well, let's start with thinking about who you are. And it starts with you being proud of your accomplishments. Now, quite often people are embarrassed to introduce who they are because it feels like they're bragging. But yet, when I say go to your accomplishments, take some time. In fact, I did it as a motivational Monday session this morning on my Facebook as a post. If you're part of my positivity group or on my phone or as in one of my groups. Otherwise, go and have a look at my Facebook. And it talks about being proud of your accomplishments, like going back to school times, thinking about what sports teams you were, what accolades did you get, what certificates did you get, where did you do really well that you can be proud of yourself. And then when you finished school, did you study? What courses have you done? What degrees did you get? What diplomas? What certificates have you received? And start thinking about husband, wife, family, children. What successes have you had? Recently, I coached a lady who was 60. She's worked in insurance for 40 years, and she's just become an entrepreneur. And she said, I'm not good enough to do this. I'm like, but tap into everything you've learned with insurance for 40 years and focus on those accomplishments. You are worthy in sharing. So we often feel like we're not good enough, but yet your expertise, your life, your amazingness is your uniqueness. But it's recognizing that. And I say to people, take about half an hour to an hour and actually do this exercise where you go write it down. Now, you're not going to introduce yourself and read your whole CV out. It's just realizing that you are worthy of what you do. And when you share it, you're speaking from your head, your heart, your gut, sharing something and letting people feel the passion. It's also great to share something personal about you, be a family or hobby. I shared with you, lived in the Caribbean, came back with my 11-month-old Caribbean souvenir. That was personal. Okay, you could say, fine, I've got 3 kids, or this is, I love riding bikes, whatever it may be. It's building that know, like, and trust factor. And sometimes we forget that our accomplishments made us an expert with what we are. And with our experience, we can help others. So again, this is for you to own that reverent power, your expertise before you step into a room, and the importance of it. I do share a couple of sentences about what it is that you do. Tell me about your business. Again, speak from your heart or passion. Now, recently I was at a networking function with a friend who doesn't do a lot of networking. And somebody said, what do you do? And straight away she said, I'm in real estate. That was it. And she said, okay. And what do you do? And I said, whoa, stop. She's not just in real estate. She is a team leader of an excellent real estate office on the Atlantic seaboard. She manages 15 agents and helps get them into production because she motivates them, holds them accountable, and drives them to perform. She, in fact, worked with me at Keller Williams. She was my right hand, my left hand, my everything. She's passionate and she's incredible. So if you're ever thinking about looking at this industry, have a conversation with her. And in fact, even if you're not, have a coffee with her anyway, because she's a great friend. And she looked at me and went, sure, can you introduce me to everyone? But think about how somebody else would introduce you in the room. And that's what you need to do. If you have an opportunity to introduce what you do, that's what you need to do. And it's not boasting if you're sharing what you do. When I say it in a couple of sentences, the goal is to say it to create that relationship. Identify the value you can add. But it's also to speak simplified that your audience can understand. Now, I'm currently working with someone who's got an infrared business. And when he started, he's like, I run an infrared business, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, over my head, have no clue what you do. Tell me what you do in simplified terms. So knowing that he now comes and says, I run an infrared business, which means I can see with my equipment, I can see behind your wall. So before you go and put a hammer and a nail into your wall, let me make sure there's no water pipe behind that may explode. So now I understand what his equipment does. Or the one line he's embraced now is, I make the invisible visible. I mean, now I understand, right? So add what value? Kevin does security systems. I will put up security systems, the camera, and make sure you're safe in your home. So it's making it real, creating that relationship with you. My goal is to make sure you feel secure. If you're in real estate, my goal is to hold your hand on a journey of buying your dream home. That's what you do. So you're embracing it with something personal as well. And you're sharing your skills, your knowledge, your strengths. How many years of expertise do you have in that? And even if you don't have any expertise, if you're new in your game, when I went into real estate, I didn't harp on, I've just started real estate. I'm focused on, I've got 29 years experience in leadership, 14 in training. I've worked nationally and internationally, and I love people. That's it. I didn't focus on what I didn't know. I focused on what value I could add. So what can I give you that you want? How can I help you? And that's the I do part. Now, if you've only got 60 seconds, this is a couple of sentences. It's not a 7-minute pitch. Okay, I am 2 sentences. I do 2 sentences. And this is where I help you craft it to be clear and concise. Then, what is it that I can do for you? What value can I add to you? What journey can I do for you? How can I take you to the next level? So how can I help you? And this is the importance of asking deeper questions to build your rapport. Now, in a one-to-one conversation, that's exactly what you're going to do. Like, Joe, you mentioned you're in real estate. Exactly what can I do for you? Who can I introduce you to? Okay, or Kevin, you're in the securities. Who can I introduce you to? This virtual assistant, what exactly is it that you do with a virtual assistant? What's your expertise? Because I know lots of people that need a VA. So that's where you can ask those deeper questions. But if you only have 60 seconds, you want to say, this is how I can help you. If you've ever had the fear of buying or selling your house, with my 20 years expertise, or I will take you on the journey, hold your hand, and help you with all that documentation that freaks people out. So you're giving a solution ahead of time. This is what I can do for you. Find out what's important to them. Everybody wants simplicity. Everybody wants security. Everybody wants more time. Everybody wants to save money. These are different things you can share of how you can help them. And then the final part of it. So when I say I am, couple of sentences, I do a couple of sentences, I can would be more of 4 or 5 sentences because you're sharing the value. And the I need one thing. Remember, we're not chasing the butterfly. We're building value. And this is where we need to consciously breathe, step out of that, I need business, I need money, I need to pay my bills, and focus on one thing, I need. So what am I doing and what is it that I need? And just start small, one thing. So think about the outcome. Of course, I want you all to come work with me. Of course, I want all your money. Of course, I want you to stay in my circle. Of course, I want, no. What's that one thing? Today, I started with that. I would love to give you a gift, which is today's session on a one-pager. Please go ahead, drop your email address. I can make sure I get to you. One thing. That's it. Start small. Okay. So what is that one thing? On a phone call, what is the outcome of that phone call? And ideally, often we want somebody to take us and buy us and give us a property to list or become their VA or become their security company of choice, whatever it is. Ideally, that one thing is, I would love your email address so I can stay in contact with you and share some valued information of what's happening. Let me see how I can help you. So just one thing. Also, when we think about it, be specific about your ask. Sometimes people go, please go ahead, follow me on social media. I'm on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. Too much. One thing. Go and follow me on Facebook. I'd love to share my motivational post with you today. Specific. One thing. Right? So be specific about your ask. And most importantly, always, always, always thank people for keeping you in mind. Always. I did a one-to-one training session with the lady. She's a managing director of quite a large company, and she's doing my full speaking course because she does speak to stages internationally about her business. And on Saturday, we did a 4-hour one-to-one coaching over a period of time. And the one thing in our conversation, she was like, I really need a professional photographer. Oh, I've got someone I can recommend. And then I said, oh, I really need this. Oh, she's got someone. So in our 4 hours, we each referred 2 or 3 people to each other. Our goal is getting to know people so we can refer people. That is coming from value. That's helping people. So when I know I need someone, who am I going to think of? Oh, I actually know Kevin. He lives in our area. He knows so many people. See, if I knew, Kevin, who do you use as a mechanic? Because I know, like, and trust him. Who do you use with this? Who do you use with this? And that's where you start building rapport with people, of finding out who can you work with and who can you build up those needs, references, referrals. And that's what you want to create for yourself in your networking. So as simple as I am, I do, I can, I need. Now, I want to share with you that this is exactly what I do. I help entrepreneurs, business owners, and leaders in real estate master the art of speaking so you can communicate with confidence, sell with impact, and lead with authority. And be it that one-to-one conversation, team meetings, commanding the stage, my Speak with Impact for Sales helps you give the tools to influence, inspire, and increase your sales success. So, with permission, may I share more information with you on my Speak with Impact for Sales course? Just let me know in the chat box. May I share more information with you? Yes, please. Yes, please. Yes, please. All right. We've got 4, 5. Let's get it to 15. Okay, I'm 15. 60. All right. Perfect. Thank you. So right here, you've made a choice. You've said yes. You're taking a chance. You want to hear more. And I'm hoping the tools I can share with you will make this change in your life. So my next program actually starts tomorrow. I've got 3 seats left. And the reason I say 3 seats, because this particular course, some of you may have worked with me on other courses where I've trained up to 200 people at a time. But because this course is so intimate and impactful to give you these tools, it's an interactive course. 3 seats left. Somebody actually WhatsApped me just before this and said, take one off, there's only 2. So starts tomorrow, 20th of May. It's a 10-week course and 90 minutes per session. It's exactly the same like this, online, interactive, and I say 3 seats, scrap that out, that's 2 left. So all sessions are presented weekly, followed by a Q&A. So exactly like this, yet life happens. Sometimes you can't make a session. The sessions are recorded, goes onto a platform which you'll have access for 6 months. Yet, I always say repetition is key, so it's great to go back and watch the sessions as well. Every session comes with a workbook, weekly assignments, and at the end, a certificate of attendance as well. So looking at that, let me share with you what this course covers. If you have any questions, please do save. I'd love to hear from you at the end. I will open up for Q&A as well. But what this course covers is one of the things that we need to really focus on are what is our big why? Why do we want to learn to speak clearly and concisely with impact? What is the goal? And most people have said to me, it's confidence. Somewhere in their life, as confident as they are, they've lost their confidence. So what is your big why? Is it to get more comfortable speaking to clients? Is it to do the networking functions? Is it to be comfortable with the cold call? Right? So what is the purpose of you wanting to learn to speak better, clearer, and concisely? Is it to get out of that washing machine spin cycle and know when to stop? Okay? Who is your target audience? So we want to start stepping into the spotlight and going, okay, but who's your audience? Who are you speaking to? What outcome do you want? Because even though you're phoning different people, if you're in real estate, everyone lives in a house, may want to rent or buy or sell. If you're security, you live in a house, everybody needs security. If you're a VA, everybody needs your support. And there's quite so many different industries sitting here, but how do you adapt your script to that audience? And you'll learn the essentials of speaking in public. So this is not your keynote presentation. You will learn how to craft that 60-second pitch so you can introduce yourself with absolute confidence, no more phone, no more piece of paper. And with that, your strategic objective, what outcome do you want every time you speak to someone? That's just session 1, jam-packed value for 90 minutes. Session 2 is about words having power, because so many of us are sitting here going, I don't know if I can do this. I'm too scared. Sitting in a group of people, how do I empower my voice? And the goal here is to let go of the fear of speaking in public, because you know your expertise gives you clarity, and that clarity can solve someone's problems. And that alone gives you the confidence. Session number 3 is exactly what we did today, but deep, where you help craft your talk. You practice with that talk. In fact, every time after the session, you introduce with your talk, and we help with storytelling, adapting it for 30 seconds, 45 seconds, 60 seconds. I am launching a cold calling session next month as well. So practicing, utilizing this with your cold calling. Session number 4 is the art of storytelling and how to captivate your audience in less than 2 minutes. And this will help you when you're speaking with clients. You follow a simplified formula as well. Session number 5, beyond words, how to speak on camera. So how to have your client listen to everything you say, whether it's on a Zoom, whether it's on a phone. So many of us work online now, or we go and do something and take somebody through with the phone as well. So how do you be confident speaking on camera, whether it's reels, marketing, or speaking directly to clients? Session 7 is the power of your body language. And verbal body language is what we're learning about speaking. Non-verbal body language can be just as detrimental as verbal body language. So what to do on and off camera when speaking to your clients, and how to read your client's body language, shift your communication to get them to buy in to what you're saying. Session number 7, it's all about the DISC profile. Those of you that have worked with me before, I do DISC in every single course I offer, because the power of understanding your clients, creating and shifting your communication is what's going to impact your client to say yes. And you will learn how to do this from a phone call, from face-to-face, see what they're wearing, how they answer their phone, emails as well, and how do you shift your communication to get the client to say yes. Session number 8 is all about impromptu speaking, getting asked that question on the fly. In fact, I just had a lady who was entering Miss South Africa do my full speaking course specifically for impromptu speaking. And she's just been accepted. She's one of the contestants, right? So she's now a speaker's coach, but it's learning the art of impromptu speaking, answering questions on the fly. Yeah, we do the 7 C's of communication, how to win your clients and close the deal through clear communication. So this is 8 value-added, jam-packed 90-minute sessions. So it's the introduction, your big why in 60 seconds, step into the spotlight, your journey begins here, learning the essentials of speaking in public, how to empower your voice, silence the doubts, the art of networking your creative pitch, art of storytelling, how to captivate your audience, creating impact, so understanding DISC with confidence, the power of body language on and off camera, winning your clients, closing your deals through clear communication. So I just want to ask you, money aside, I mean, if I said to you, this is absolutely free, and I can help you speak clearly, concisely, with confidence, it's going to increase your network, your sales, your monthly commissions. Let me know in the chat box who would want to work with me. If this was for free, who would want to work with me? Kevin says yes. Me. Duh. Oh, that's a duh, of course. Me. Fabulous. I would love to work with you. Thank you, Gertrude. Thank you to this. Definitely fantastic. Now, I would love to say to you, absolutely, come and join me for the next 10 weeks, absolutely for free. But in order to do that, I am looking for some security. I need some new cameras going up. I'd also like some infrared. I'd like, some cameras in my garden. So Kevin, I'll do it for free for you if you just do my whole house. Joe, I see you in real estate. If you don't mind listing my property, 0 commission. I'm sure you don't mind. The VA, can I ask you to do? Ultimately, I'd love to say it's for free. However, we all have a business to run. But money aside, if this can change your business, your life, and bring you 1 more client, which I know it will be a lot more than that, would it be worth it? So I want to introduce you to Anya. So Anya, actually, I met at a networking function a couple of years ago. It was her first time attending one, and she stood up to introduce herself. She had tears in her eyes. I was the keynote speaker that day. I did a 7-minute talk without notes. And as soon as I finished, she walked up to me and she held my hand and she said, I need to learn to do that. Please help me. We met the next day for coffee, and she signed up for my full speaking course, which is 4 full days. But the tools are the simplified tools that I share with you today. I just want to share the difference with Anya in 4 weeks. She's now completed my sales course. She's now, well, let me actually not tell you anymore. Just have a look at the difference in 4 weeks.
I'm very much an introvert, so it's a bit tricky talking in front of a whole bunch of people, but I'll do my best. So we started looking into natural products that promoted self communication. We've decided people like
so that they are able to reach retirement and be healthy and live and not end up dying before they get there. What's approaching retirement?
So my name is Anya, and I would like to help people bring their bodies back into balance so that they can make it to retirement and get to grow old with their grandchildren.
Every garden I walk through, every rose I see, every sandcastle washed away by the tide, a constant reminder of you. Each day I walk past your empty room thinking, you should have been here with us.
Isn't that just incredible? And after she did that, she actually, again, we were asked the opportunity to step in the Fugard Theatre, speak to 300 people. I invited my speaker. She said yes. And she stood on stage talking to 300 people. Somebody that could not stand up in front of 10 people with tears in her eyes now comfortably speaks to 300 people. Well, she's still nervous, but so am I. She now also runs multiple businesses. And the art of learning how to speak clearly and concisely can change your life. So again, go and have a look at what my Google ads, go and see what other people have said. So be it getting off that washing machine spin cycle or speaking one-to-one or one-to-many, this is for you. And you've got a choice. You can keep doing what you're doing at your pace, or you can say, yes, I'm going to work with Nikki. I'm going to learn these tools and get there fast. So I do like to work with action takers, people that are ready to dive straight in. And because if you are an action taker, which, like I said, we launch tomorrow, my next course is only going to be in July. I haven't even secured a date yet, but this is 2 more seats left for tomorrow. There are some bonuses. So one of the bonuses is Nicolene Hammerty. She owns a company called Breti for real estate. But this particular session is all about content creation. And whether you're in real estate, a VA, security, TV, whatever you may be, the session is excellent. In fact, it's helped me so much with my business. So this is one session you'll have access to. You watch it and put it in application. Second session is the art of negotiations with myself. There's also goal setting for success for 2025. I use exactly the same for every single year, setting my goals, and time mastery. How do we take this and put it into application? So that's bonus 3 and 4. All these sessions are on demand, which means you have access to the sessions to watch it at your own pace. There's also a session, I'm actually doing it live on Friday, how to handle challenging clients. I use a 6-step formula to handle challenging clients. So how do you turn a difficult client into a loyal client? Then we also have 2 masterminds. As you saw, there was 8 theory sessions. My mastermind sessions are in between so that we take what you've learned to put it into application. Every time I train, it's not just about learning, it's about how to put it in application. So all of these are your bonuses if you join for tomorrow's session. So let me ask you, how would it affect your life? Have these simplified tools to learn how to speak clearly, concisely, with confidence. I mean, do you think this can help you just a little? Just let me know in the chat box. Is it an L for little or LC? Could it be life-changing? Let me know. All right, Joe says life-changing. Okay, life-changing. I mean, really, it's up to you. Thank you. Lots of life changing coming through. So I want to share with you that looking at Speak with Impact for sales, if I take the bonuses and the value of all the bonuses plus the full course itself, the value comes up to 22,000 Rand, 816, right? That's the total value. So looking at that, I decided that's a lot of value, but I can't do that. And I was going to launch for 2025, and my launch price, I dropped as a bonus to everyone at 4,500 Rand. But May is my 5-year birthday for my business. And as my final month, I am doing my May Madness special, which is taking additional 20% off and doing it for 3,600. Like I said, the next 24 hours includes bonuses as well. And I'm going to drop the link in the chat box and the bit.ly SWI Speak with Impact for Sales. If you are going directly, use the coupon code ACTION, all in capitals, for the once-off fee. Otherwise, if you want to do a payment plan, which I'll share with you now as well, then you can also go ahead and use ACTION 20 for 20% off for the payment plan. Now, saying that, yes, the payment plan options. If you do the once-off, 4,500, enter ACTION, that's 3,600. If you want to do 2 payments over 2 months, 2,000 Rand for 2 months. Otherwise, 1,800 Rand, 3 payments, 1,440. As I shared, the program starts tomorrow from 9 till 10:30. My next launch is only in July. If tomorrow is too soon, I'm going to say to you, sign up with these prices. Send me an email and say, I want to join your July session, your July group. I think it's beginning of July. I am also looking at doing an evening group. I've had quite a few people asking me for evenings. I am looking at that. But to secure this price, you need to sign up today. So, reminder on the gift, I'm going to email you the gift as long as you've given me your email address. But I do, I can, I need. My name's Nikki, public speaker strategist, leadership extraordinaire, and TEDx speaker coach. I love helping people fall in love with their voices so they can learn simplified tools to speak clearly, concisely, with impact. And I would love you to sign up and work with me. So, as simple as that. I am, I do, I can, I need. So again, I'm just leaving it up on the screen. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask in the chat box. I will also send out an email today just to say thank you very much. Like I said, the cart closes at 5 o'clock today. But if this is something you want to do and not join tomorrow, prices you can pay today and join the next group. After that, prices go back up to 4.5. So are there any questions? And let me know, did you learn one thing new? Thanks so much for your time, sharing your amazing offering. Thank you so much. Very informative. Excellent. All right, fabulous session. Thank you. Thanks so much, Joe. Appreciate you. Appreciate you all being here as well. And just to let you know, because you were here at 11 o'clock, I have an hour Ask Me Anything session. So if you're stuck in your business, if you're stuck with what needs doing, if you need some advice, it's an hour, free hour, no sales, just simply saying, come and ask me what needs doing. So if you want that, I'm actually going to drop my WhatsApp phone number in the chat box. If you do want to join business, ask me anything, just drop me a WhatsApp. I'll send you the link to register quickly, and hope you've all learned something new. Thanks a million, Nikki. Thank you, Nikki. Worth taking time session. Fabulous. Thank you. Thank you, Nikki. It was a great session. Fabulous. So appreciate you. In the meantime, if you're ready to work with me, 2 seats left, scan that barcode. If you're ready to join, just not tomorrow, scan the barcode, sign up, send me an email. I will drop my email here as well, but you will also be getting the email gift from me, so you can simply just reply to that. And last day for the special. If you want to do a trade, reach out. You want to sell my house? Reach out. You want to put security cameras? Reach out. You want to be my vendor? I'm joking. All right. Thank you all. Loved spending time with you. Thank you for choosing to spend your Monday morning here with me. Have a fabulous week. Those of you that are action takers ready to join for tomorrow, I look forward to seeing you tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock. Alternatively, when you are ready, and if that's never, I hope today's tool will help you in business. And you always remember, I am, I do, I can, I need. Have a fantastic day, everyone. Thank you so much. Appreciate you being here and hope to see you soon. Bye, everyone. Thank you.